first step in the whole process, which seems to take the most time. Scrubbing all this crap. Well, all these years and years of dirt and neglect that the previous owner decided to keep in the back of this thing. Takes longer to clean these fucking panels than it does to actually paint them. Alright guys, so I got a couple more minutes here to try and do some more of this interior. And like I said, I did a couple of smaller pieces in the back, so this is just a couple more pieces that is getting done today. And these do have, well, I just ran out of adhesion promoter again, so I need to go get another can, but I did get 2 decent coats on all this, these 3 pieces of the adhesion promoter, and I'm about to start laying down the paint here shortly. But the first couple pieces I did, I wasn't wearing a mask, which now I am, but I got to stop painting without masks and stuff on. I never really realized how bad it really was for me. Over the years of just grinding and painting and welding, this stuff's starting to get to my lungs, man. It's after a couple sprays, I really start noticing it now. I mean, when I was younger, I would spray cans and cans full of spray paint or just all kinds of stuff, and it never really bothered me much. But now, a couple sprays in, I'm like choking on my own spit. So you should definitely be masking up if you're gonna be painting. But yeah, just a quick little before video, directly before I actually paint it. Said this adhesion promoter says within 10 minutes to put your main coats on of paint. So it's been about 3. So I'm about to start laying on the paint here shortly. So let's see what it looks like. Well, coat 1's done. Light and simple. And pretty sure everyone that paints knows you always want to try and get all your hard crevices and corners painted first instead of painting your main panels and then trying to lay the paint into the corners, because all that's going to do is you're going to end up getting runs because you're going to lay your paint on so heavy trying to hit them corners that, yeah, too much paint just overlaps and it starts getting super heavy and just starts running and looking like shit. So yeah, always hit your weird corners, weird little crevices. Like these have these little inside of here that goes all the way around, and all these weird corners, even in here. You always want to spray all your corners first, especially when, well, I mean, with these first coats here, you're just tacking up paint, but once you start actually layering on the paint, that's where you want to start. Coat 1, at least full coat. Alright guys, so I was able to get the rear interior put back together for the most part. Missing like the grab handle for the rear hatch and a couple of little buttons because I ran out of paint and didn't get to do a couple small things, but for the most part all of it's back in and black, and I gotta say it looks better than what I really thought it was going to. So this is still gray for now. There's a small handle piece I'm missing. But I know there's a bunch of crap back here. It's kind of hard to see, but I mean, the black turned out beautiful. And so far, I mean, I've had a lot of stuff in and out of here already. And kind of just, all the scratches in it are all just deep scratches that's not really in through the paint that I just painted. That's kind of just there from even after I painted it. And like all this stuff here, that's all already been there. It's not through the black paint. It's kind of won't, when I painted it, it kind of didn't adhere. I mean, the paint's not thick enough to take all them scratches out, so. But yeah, this baby stroller's been in and out of here, scratching the side up. I've had my toolbox in here. I mean, I've had a lot of metal in the back of here, just a bunch of stuff back here that hasn't even came close to scratching through the paint. So even here on this kick plate, I mean, none of the paints came off yet. I was rolling jacks in and out of here, had a motor stand in and out of here. I mean, a lot of random stuff that I had in and out of this already that hasn't scratched or chipped through the black paint whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the choice of that Duplicolor paint with that adhesion promoter so far has been holding up. And it's only been, I don't know, a couple of days since it's been in there, but like I said, a lot of stuff in and out of there, and it still looks great. So still waiting to do the rest of it. I went through for that whole back area all the way to right there where the kick plates are, the back doors. That took, I believe, 6 cans of paint to get it to where it's at now. And that really wasn't very many coats of paint. I'm gonna say I put 3 good coats on most of the parts. And that paint kind of just, I don't know, it just takes a lot to coat those parts. I mean, the parts were pretty big, but for 3 coats on all those parts, plus I was kind of spraying out in the open, you know what I mean? I wasn't spraying with in a garage or anywhere like that. Clearly I was just right out in my back patio, and it was a little bit windy here and there, so I probably wasted a little bit of paint, more than I should have, but altogether, yeah, it was 6 or 7 full cans plus 2 cans of adhesion promoter. So now as far as the front goes, I think what I'm gonna do is leave the dash pad how it's gray and the door panels themselves are gray. I think I'm gonna leave those gray, and then the whole bottom half section of the dash, the center console, and the door cards themselves that are tan are all gonna get black. But I don't think I'm gonna go as far as painting the actual dash or the main door cards, like the panels themselves, not just the door cards, because I think too much black would throw it off too much. I mean, the gray doesn't really bother me so much. It's more or less just a tan. So I think I'm gonna paint all the tan first, the black, the same flat black that I just did with everything else, and see how it turns out before I mess with the dash or anything, because the dash is definitely a different material. It's not the hard plastic of the back paneling pieces, so there's no saying how it's really even going to stick on that. But regardless, for now, the back's done. I think it looks great. It's holding up great. So we'll know here in about a month or two over time, with all the abuse that the back panels get from me with dirt bike gear and just, I don't know, jacks and just all kinds of random crap for cars that I end up throwing back there. So